I'll look rough.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Cunning Buffoons podcast. My name's Dylan.
I'm Andrew.
St. Trina.
This is going to get difficult here soon. Going to have to get one of them like baby naming books.
Francis.
That works. I don't know how to spell Francis. I know.
Well, it's a name, so you can spell it however you want. What's up? You got work tomorrow?
Yeah.
What? They didn't let you out for the first?
Third.
Third. First was yesterday.
The third for the fourth.
First
That
was
makes
yesterday.
sense. Yeah. So you're not off on the third? You're already off the fourth?
Mhm.
Okay.
So heck yeah.
Yeah, it works.
I'm not off tomorrow either. So,
Neither am I.
well, like I actually have a job tomorrow. You don't.
Yeah.
Literal job.
You agree to show up and work. That's a job.
That is how jobs work.
What?
The difference. Above table, under table.
No, I mean, a job's a job. Like, I've done
still a difference.
Yeah, but I've done contract work like it most of my life. Like, for a lot of my jobs.
See, I don't know why people consider, like, when I was 8 working on a farm, why they consider that under the table. Like, you're 8. Like,
It's because the taxation in this country has gotten ridiculous. Like, the whole graduated tax scale. Like,
well, we could just kill everybody.
Let's not say that on the internet.
Why not? Not like we get views.
Yellowstone will do it for us.
I don't know. 600 views almost per video is not bad.
I
Per
mean,
video, try per short.
For sure. Whatever.
Per
Yeah.
video, probably like 12.
and we got, we anywhere from 20 to 30 people that actually watch the episodes. But then we got a lot of people who make a lot of fun of the shorts. So,
Shout out all the haters.
yeah.
Hang on.
Thanks for commenting.
Hang on.
We enjoy it.
Oh. Sorry, my back really hurt.
I think we've said it before, but like you're watching a podcast and you're watching shorts, so like scroll through them if you don't like them. But if you do watch them, like we're called the Cunning Buffoons
Yeah.
for like a reason.
Because we're all a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, I mean that's
And look, can I say his name?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
Comcast John. I didn't go to school, thank you. Which might explain a lot. But I can read better than you. I just can't pronounce anything.
well. See, that's the problem. I watched a short the other day. Fly flew in my throat. Stupid gnats. But anyways, watched a short the other day, and it's like 5 guys read each other's like deepest secrets, like they wrote them down or whatever. And the guy gets up in the box and he pulls one up, and right before he goes to read, he's like, "But none of them can read." And the guy's like, and it gets to one guy, and he's like, "I slept with my best friends." He's like, I don't I'm just making this up. I don't have a clue what it could be Chinese. I don't care." And then they all hugged each other and laughed, and I'm like, yeah.
Sounds right.
I mean, a lot of people back in the day, like our founding fathers and junk, like there's a lot of them that didn't really know how to read and stuff till they started getting teenage
It
years
wasn't
and
really important.
adult,
It wasn't important as long as you could work.
Yeah.
Fight.
Which reading nowadays, because of like, back then they got on a horse and trekked through the woods. And like if you fell asleep on your horse, it usually just took you where you needed to go if it was a good horse. And if it was a bad horse, you just woke up somewhere you didn't know. But like reading is a necessity now, but not, I don't think to the level they try to make everybody read. And like math has always been a necessity, but I don't think it's a necessity to the level they try to make. Like there's freaking 7th and 8th graders doing calculus and junk. Like they're not going to use it. 95% of people aren't going to use.
Well, they're not worried about if you're going to use it or not.
Yeah, but see, that's the
They're
problem.
training
Why
factory
but why are
workers.
you wasting your daggum time? Even if you're training factory workers. if that's the whole goal, like the whole setup was to train good workers anyways, like factory workers. Go in, bell rings, you do your thing, you know. But at the same time, part of the problem they're having now is they're like, nobody's smart enough to do anything. Like where I used to work, they had a machine set up and you would come in and you would like turn the dials and like it would do all the stuff, right? And then you would look over everything. They'd give you 5 or 6 minutes or whatever, and then you would leave and they would come in and mess something up. And then you would have to come back and fix it. And like that was one of the aptitude tests to even work in the place. And then they were like, "Oh, well, we had to do away with that because people couldn't get it." And I'm like, but you're wondering why we can't make good product.
Yeah.
Like you got rid of the standards, and then there's a lot of factories now that don't want to pay enough to get people in there. Or like you can probably, because you've been in a factory long enough to understand this one, it's hard to keep good help when you refuse to fire bad help.
Yeah, pretty much.
And like when you start piling everything on the people that do work because the people that don't work won't do it, you wind up losing your good people. And then once you lose enough of your good people, your morale goes down and then you lose everybody. Like it's not hard to realize, like if somebody isn't good at working, they need to be let go. I mean, it sucks. Like nobody wants to fire anybody.
No, I want to fire people. My feelings would not be hurt at all. The problem is you get people in there that are too worried about being Mr. Nice Guy to be the daggum boss.
A lot of times, yeah. And you need to be nice and cordial and respectful to be a boss, but you don't have to like let people walk on you and
Yeah, and you don't have to be worried about what they think of you.
yeah, that's not your goal.
No.
You want your crew to like you and respect you.
But if they don't, that's their problem.
If you're a good boss. Like I've known some bosses that like everybody hated them, but like they hated them because they were jerks.
Yeah.
Like they come in there just retarded and just mean to everybody, and it was like there's no sense in this.
I love being mean. I think 4-H camp taught me that. Like I love, like when people are like, "Oh, you go yell at that kid," I'm like, "Okay."
Now that cracks me up when you get parents in there and they're like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to fuss at that kid." It's like that's what you're here for. Like you are literally here to fuss at kids.
Like don't cuss them out.
Yeah, don't
Don't
threaten.
say anything inappropriate.
Don't threaten to beat them. You know, don't make them all do push-ups in the rain while everybody's staring at them. You know, stuff like that. But
I don't even think that was that big of a deal.
Wait, what happened?
It's a whole shebang. It was
yeah,
ridiculous.
it's things that some people would be like, "Oh well, that's part of life," and then other people would be like, "Oh, I don't know," you know. And so it's just one of those, you just err on the side of caution, is what you do. But at the same time, like you've got what is this, 380 kids at junior camp, something like that. A lot of times.
Junior camp?
Yeah.
Depends on the counties. We only had like 400 or something.
Yeah, you got 400 kids there, and people are like, "I don't know if I'm allowed to fuss at a
That was
kid."
terrible.
Yeah, you better fuss at a kid because if you allow one to get away with something, they'll all try to get away with something. And fourth, fifth, and sixth graders can mess up a lot of stuff real fast.
And they can be terrors.
Yes.
Like I told someone, kids are crazy, and they're like, "Oh, you got to think about you were a kid once too." And it's like, yeah, but I didn't act like that.
No. No, you didn't.
There was no acting like that.
Mm.
Like one kid kept saying the HE double hockey sticks, hell. And I said, "Hey, don't say that." And he looked at me and he said it 5 times. I said, "Okay, let's go find Justin." Calm as could be. No, give me another chance. No.
Yeah.
We walked around, we looked for him. I was like, "Okay, we can't find him." I was like, "You got one more chance. Do anything I don't like.
Uh-huh.
Anything."
But a lot of them kids also have parents that don't actually do anything.
And then
They count, they warn, they threaten, but they never
I
actually
found him
back
on
it
the
up.
zip line later, and he said something. And he said, "Oh, sorry." It's like, I'm not here to be your friend. That's the problem a lot of the kids have, is they want to be your friend. And it's like, we can be friends as long as you listen. As long as you do what you're asked, you're not acting out for some unparticular reason, you're not being annoying.
Me liking you doesn't give you privileges to act in ways in which I don't like. And I think that's what it's hard for. Wait, he's dying. So, what was his name today? Tyrone?
Francis.
Francis.
I wrote France. Now that I look at it.
Put IS behind it.
No, but anyway,
It's okay.
I don't know. Just like and like I don't even care if you back talk, honestly. Just do what I asked.
Yeah. A kid that'll tell you yes and then not do it is worse than a kid that will fuss the whole time but do it.
I can't even remember. Did we talk about any of this last week?
I'm pretty sure, but it might have been muted when we did.
No, that wasn't last week.
Okay. Then maybe.
Was it?
I don't think it was. The one we were watching earlier was.
We've talked
the
about
week
this
that
a
was
lot.
muted,
Like
but
we deal
yeah,
with a
we
lot of
talked
kids
about
and we
it,
do a lot
yeah.
of stuff with them. So like every time you get back from a camp, you're like, act right, kids.
Kids.
Roundup will be a good one to talk about.
Yeah, but see, them are fun ones. Like when you're there with the teenagers and stuff, it's a whole lot more fun.
Oh, Miss Melissa, when she comes every like higher staff from our region gets to pick a week and they just go hang out for a day.
Yeah.
And so she was there our week and she hung out all day. I came and found her and we were talking. I walked by her. She pointed at me from across the cafeteria and was like, "You need someone to do something? That's a heck of a volunteer." And I was like, "Oh, okay." It's kind of random, but okay. And she was talking and she was like, "Yeah, it's kind of weird because junior high and junior camp, you're just like, they're like such a weird and they're annoying. Once y'all hit high school and y'all carry on through 4-H, y'all all become great."
Yeah.
She's
Well,
like,
I mean, the big part,
she's like,
like, you
once
guys-
y'all hit high school, y'all all are great.
But once you hit those ages, to be there and to be at the stuff, you got to work for it.
Yep.
And so, like, for you guys to be there, even like you don't want all the awards and stuff, but like you go because you like seeing your friends, you enjoy doing the stuff. So, like, even the ones like you that aren't gung ho and running for all the offices and junk, but you have to do something to be there.
I don't disrespect anyone that does that, but I do not pay somewhere to go do more work.
Yeah.
I do not pay to go do more work. If you wanna run for a free position and then do more work for a camp you already paid for, feel free. Go ahead.
You don't want to do that?
Because 4-H already hears, "Oh, wait, what? Kids to camp? Manual labor?"
Well,
Bro, they had kids weed eating hills at the last camp.
Well, I mean, when you got a
Heck
bunch
yeah.
of kids there, like teenagers,
I mean,
they're
it was
smart
a
enough to
service
run without
project.
getting hurt. Like, hey, go do your thing.
It was a service project, so I mean, it's not like it's a big thing, but like
It builds character.
I dug up a lot of flowers, and my team was all right. Like I had 5 people, but like I dug up a lot of flowers.
This was a team assignment.
Well, like no, I just had like a few people. I had 5 with me, I think, and like they were good, but I was a lot better. And then when we dug flowers, me and one guy get over there and we dig up, and you're digging in rocks, and you're digging up and you plant the bulb just for the boss lady to come over there and have 2 other people dig them all up and move them. What are we doing?
Well, that's because flowers don't grow in rocks.
She told us to put them there. It wasn't really rocks. It was like it had gravel on top of it, but it was dirt.
Okay. I was gonna
We're not
say,
digging in rocks
that's
with a
what you
shovel.
said. Sorry. I just based it off what you said.
He's out there with a hammer drill, drilling holes
Yeah,
and
like,
putting the
what?
bulbs in the rock, and it's just doing nothing. So, I don't know why my garden won't
She
grow.
was like,
I
at
planted
first,
it in that bedrock.
they moved me over there because I was like, yeah, I'm pretty allergic to poison ivy.
Yes, you are.
She was like, I don't want you up here if you're allergic to poison ivy. And I was like, just let me work. If it'll get done, just let me do something.
Yeah, get out of my way.
She was like, well, I can't have you up here, but you can go over there. Like, whenever we finished up there, I just walked back over there. And she was like, we only have this many bulbs. And I just snuck up the hill and started digging. But
Yeah, but see, most other, not most, but a good majority of the other kids will be like, oh, I'm not allowed to do this. Let me go hide. But I think a lot of times,
the quicker it get done,
yeah,
the quicker it gets
the
done
quicker you
for
knock it
everyone.
out, the more other stuff you can do. But like a lot of, I know like the junior and the junior high camps have a hard time grasping that. But a lot of times the teenagers seem to be, for the most part, be like, yeah, if we get this crap done, we can chill, have fun, and
Because there's always a service project at a camp. You just never know what it's going to be. Like one time we just like picked up brush for like 30 minutes, and that was it. And then other times it's like clean up this room, and it's like okay, it just
Yeah.
it's
They're
not like
here's your sledgehammer, here's your pickaxes. We need that
Master
boulders.
got me working.
We need a
Got me
tunnel
working.
in the side of this hill, please. Can you dig a hole so it looks like Herman the German was digging a hole? Can you please make this more realistic?
That's they ruined that story.
The best telling I've ever seen of it was last year's.
That wasn't even as good as the first time I heard it.
Yeah, well, I didn't have the privilege of being there the first time you guys
was
heard it
pretty-
when it was awesome.
It's-
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
It's pretty bad now. It's pretty bad now. Like they shorten it because they can't keep a schedule. Like that's 4-H's biggest problem is they cannot keep a schedule.
But that's not just 4-H. That's any large group doing stuff.
Yeah.
It probably up. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. La 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 la. Huh? You're gonna cut the master up? I think
You're too quiet.
well, that's not. You got to cut me up over there to cut me up over.
No, it's not you. It's just my headphones are too quiet.
Yeah, I was about to say you sound good to me.
Yeah, no, it's not your mic. It's just these are quieter than
Which
the
one?
others are.
Can't you control your?
It's all the way up.
You sure?
Yep.
Did you not just fix it?
No, it's all the way up. I
No?
just feel like y'all are very quiet. That's better.
That's better.
Yeah.
Now you're loud for me. No, I'm
Okay.
joking.
I mic'd us down a little bit. We better.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I like it.
Are we
loud.
still bouncing on the screen? Do we have sound
You are
over there?
Still bouncing.
Heck yeah, really.
No, it is a 4-H thing.
Well, no, it's any large. Like even you do. Like you get 400 adults and people trying to organize them and get them places on time. It's not.
It's not that hard. The schedule says be here this time.
But
Go
that-
there that time.
That is not how. That is not how groups of people work. I don't care how much they thought they was going to train them to be at places on time when they put them through public school, but it did not work.
I mean, I'm a single person. It takes me like an hour to usually say what I'm actually gonna do.
Yeah, but think about it. Like that's just you. But then you've got, and it ges worse when you get adults at a
Well,
place
yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't have to be
He
places.
said, say what I'm going to do. Dylan, if a piece of paper says be here at this time, how hard is it to get there at that time?
Depends on if I agreed on it or not.
There is no agreeing on it. You paid to be at this place.
If I paid, I guess I'll be there.
Okay, but as an adult, if I pay to go somewhere to like a camp or to do something fun, and I'm not volunteering somewhere, I'm paying because I want to participate. I also have the option of being where I want to be when I want to be.
Well, like
there.
my first SRTLC, this kid just sat on his phone in the room the whole weekend. Why did you come?
I don't. He would rather sit in a hotel room somewhere than sit at home.
It wasn't a hotel room. It was Clyde York. Like, what was the point? You could have just sat at home and done that.
Maybe they didn't want to sit at home. Maybe they didn't like home.
iPad kids, bro.
Maybe put your phone up. Holy.
Do
That's
they
why
not,
you have to take them from junior
I was
campers.
about to say, do they not take their phones?
They take them for junior and junior high, but like the teen camps, they don't take your phone. That's retarded.
Yeah, I feel like if everybody gets their phone taken, I think everybody should.
Well, no, the teen leaders get their
Well,
phones,
yeah, except for the team leaders.
which makes sense.
Well, yeah, because we need to get a hold of you if we need to, unless you have Mint Mobile and your service sucks. But
And the service is fine up there.
it was very good.
Not on the girls' side.
Now in Petersburg,
Yeah, it works.
man, I'm
great in
freaking
the
blazing in Petersburg city limits. But the second I get out towards your house, like turn off the main road, it's done.
Well, hey, good for you. I don't get nothing in Petersburg.
Yeah, Mint Mobile's cheap enough. You throw a second SIM in your phone and you're good to go.
No, what was?
I like Verizon. Not really.
Verizon's interesting. They're all interesting. They all just charge a lot.
Well, that's what the thing. I just got tired of paying so much every month just for service that really didn't work that much better, honestly.
And our bill kept bouncing.
Yes, that's the biggest thing.
That's
is
why
when,
we swapped from Verizon to AT&T forever ago, because our bill was not consistent. And
Yeah.
then AT&T started not being consistent.
Yep, that's what happens. But that's also why you know people, which I can't. This drives me nuts, and it's a pet peeve of mine. It really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. But when you get people that like text you every month to tell you their new number, and it's like, I got 52 contacts of you, and I've only known you for 3 years. How hard is it to keep a number? Like, I've had the same phone number for 20-something years. And that's a big thing to me. Like, if I swap carriers or anything, I want my phone number. There's too much attached to that phone number. But, like, I don't, because, like, you sign up for a lot of stuff. Like, your phone number is your backup. That's how you, like, get back into your accounts and stuff like that. And, like, if you swap every 4 or 5 months, a new phone number, that's got to be terrible. Like, you're sending your password reset to your phone you had five months ago every time. Or someone else gets your number and, like, you know, Tracy, was that her name?
Yes.
Yeah, Tracy was a terrible mama. Angel kept getting.
That's rude to say.
You know, I mean, that's what the people were telling Angel.
Yeah.
Angel had some woman named Tracy's phone number at one point, and like she was getting text messages like left and right, like you're a terrible
children
mama.
Miss you.
Your children miss you. Like all types of like fat loss drug advertisements. So like apparently she was a terrible mom and she was big. But
Heck,
Angel was just like, I don't know what. It's like, just don't answer them. But at the same time, it's like, dang, she done ghosted everybody. Hope she's okay. Wasn't like dead or something. But you know,
like dead in a ditch somewhere.
yeah.
Tragic.
See, I don't know how that works. My mom's had the same phone number for like since I was born.
Yeah, but
Pretty sure.
if you swap carriers, you just make sure that you do it in a manner where you can portal your number over with you.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. But I think a lot of people do prepaid, and I don't think you have that option on some of the prepaid stuff. So, like, if you don't pay for it for too long, you lose your number.
I don't know. I could imagine learning
Like
a new number.
our Nana Poppy used Straight Talk.
Yeah. Several people I've talked to, T-Mobile in this area, say it's pretty good. So, like, I may swap to it next. I don't know.
I think I'll just stick with what I got.
Well, you're already paid for a year.
Yeah.
That is the cool thing about Mint. I will give them that. The option to just pay for a year of service. You don't have a cell phone bill for a year. Like, I think more things
It's
should give that
spending
option.
more, but it's spending less in the long run.
Yeah, you get a discount per month, I think. But plus, like a while back, they had 8 months of service. They would give you 12 months of service for the price of 8. And I was like, dang, I don't have that much money at the moment, but like that's a good deal. It saves you money every month, so like why not do it?
Saves you quite a bit of money.
So how's your truck?
I don't know. It's a truck.
You got everything fixed on it?
Nope.
All the drive shafts and stuff?
No. Yeah.
Okay. So you got all the rattling clanking done.
Yeah. Now I just gotta fix the driver's side speaker. I gotta fix the acceleration. I gotta fix the left tail light, and then I don't know what else.
Hey, Dylan, you know what I did to my truck?
Oh,
You know what I've done to my truck? I put a new battery in it and bought a starter.
We put a new set of specialty fuses on it. We've put hoses on it.
We have not put fuses on there.
On the battery. Them stupid fusible
Oh,
links.
that crap? Yeah, but mine was free. So, I mean, like, I got
It
a
was your
free...
inheritance.
Yeah, no, but I got a free truck, and we've put, what, like 1,000 in it? Maybe? Not
yeah,
even.
probably. If you include tires and everything, yeah.
Yeah, because you have, like, a thing for blowing up tires. I don't know what.
I am terrible. That's why there's
it's
got to
only
be something
you.
better than that daggum rubber.
It's only you. I've never,
We
like,
definitely talked about that last week.
And I inherited it from my grandfather.
you blow up
Because he
the
was...
same tire every 3 months.
We was doing a farm one time, and by 9 o'clock in the morning, we had busted 2 tires on a dump truck, 3 trailer tires, 4 or 5 tires on different vehicles, blew a tractor tire, and busted a tire on the backhoe.
Yeah.
That's by 9 o'clock in the morning. And it was just like, okay, it's tire day. Like, Just whatever you do, whatever piece of equipment you get on, just drive it right up here so the tire guy can take care of it. That's all you need to do.
I think after the 6th or 4th one, I would have been like, all right, guys, calling it a day.
And that, see, now that is my mentality. It's like, okay, we can be done. We'll come back in the morning. Like we were doing one farm one time, and I was like, it's too wet. Got the four-wheeler stuck. Four-wheeler was chained to a little tractor. The little tractor's chained to the skid loader. Skid loader's chained to the big John Deere. The big John Deere's chained to the backhoe. The backhoe is chained to the other big John Deere, and that John Deere is chained to the dozer by the time we finally got them out. Got the four-wheeler stuck at like 7:45 in the morning. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we finally get everything unstuck
Why
and get
did
it
you
out on
not
flat
just
ground.
push the four-wheeler out?
The seat was in the mud.
Why did you get the four-wheeler stuck?
I did not. Pawpaw did. Because he was like, I'm going to drive it right off this rock and it'll be okay. What happened? We had just dozered the land and like got everything level, and then it rained for like a month. So like it's just soupy. Most of the T-post on one side of that farm, I walked over and just pushed them in with my hand. That's how soupy they were. Now that later that summer when it dried up, we had to cut one off because you could not pull it out of the ground. It was red clay. Like once it dried, it was in there. But like while we were doing it, yeah, you just walk through there and stick them in. My fastest I've ever put a line of T-post in, because heck, I just had the skid loader driving next to me, which is.
Man, I hate that.
That'd be the day to do it.
But at the same time, like I said, if you needed to move them,
I hate putting in T-post.
no. The worst is, have you ever put in a gate post with Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. My uncle says gate post, right? He is assuming that you are going to hang this shop off the side of it. Like we'd be out there cutting cedar and everything, be like, I need a gate post. And he'd cut like a 3-foot circumference tree. It'd be 20 foot long, and they'd drill it 12 foot in the ground. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's not going anywhere. But tamping 12 foot of hole is
Fun.
a lot. Now we did do some like a river property a couple times. Now you do put those like 8 or 9 foot in the ground.
The gate post I put in, Paul was there.
Oh, then you got off the hook.
He said, we're going to go get the post. Dig this hole. Okay. He didn't tell me how deep. I just kept digging. He come back and like, it's Mike, so he had to complain about something. Oh, you dug that hole too darn deep. I didn't tell you to dig it that darn deep. You didn't tell me how deep. I was like 12.
You just said dig a hole. I'm digging a hole. Daddy doesn't give instructions. He just says dig.
Oh, Mike doesn't give instructions.
We sat there one day, and me and Chris with a tamp bar, good like rebar spike, and a sledgehammer for like 7 or 8 hours, trying to get a corner post in, because that's where Papa said he wanted it.
Mhm.
And we were busting our tail ends trying to get this stupid post in there. And we had called him and like, can we just move it like 4 or 5 feet? And he's like, no, that's where I want it. We're like, okay, cool. He gets there. He tamps for like 5 minutes and is like, because at first he's fussing. He's like, you guys ain't got deeper than that. And we're like, well, we're trying. And so he tamps for like 5 or 6 minutes. And he's like, just put it over there. And we're both like,
Could have said this a minute ago.
Yeah.
Been done.
construction and farming and stuff is fun. Like we showed up at one job site one time at 5 o'clock in the morning to get the footer ready to lay. And so like we drove all the ground stops. We put the bulkheads in. We had everything ready. And he goes to call the concrete company at 7 o'clock, and it's Labor Day. He was like, I didn't know what holidays were or nothing until I went to a factory at 18. Like I had no clue that these holidays people got, you were supposed to get.
Mhm.
So like, and like he was fussing all day. It was hilarious. It's like, Labor Day. It's got labor in the name. It ought to be the one day that you ought to be mandated to be at work. I don't care if you don't have a job. On Labor Day, you need to be at a job. We finally found a company that had somebody that like a driver that was like, yeah, I'll come in and make the money. Heck yeah. So like,
Well, that's like,
I think it was 6 o'clock that afternoon we got concrete.
when we had to get the truck towed on the 4th.
When?
Tessa's ex-boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, trying to find somebody to tow a vehicle on the 4th of July.
And the one guy was like, I just threw burgers on the grill. Give me time to get them off, and I'll come get it.
And he was chill. Like some of them are like, they won't even answer. Others be like, no, I can't get it.
Yeah.
But he was like, I just got burgers on, and like, you know, if you give me time to finish cooking them, and it's like, well, we ain't got no other options. So yeah, you take your time.
We paid him a little extra, too.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Sometimes you run up on good ones. Then sometimes you run up on the ones like that one that towed Adam's truck.
Is that good, man?
He's back. Beep, beep. Malachi's like, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. And then he stops and is like, is that good, bro?
What did he say? Is this 412 or something like that? What was he?
Yeah, he pulls up and is like, is this 412, man? I'm like, I don't know, but that's the truck I'm waiting on. So, like, I'm pretty sure you're at the right place. He's like, cool, man. Cool.
This guy had to be like, is that good, man? Like, yes.
On something.
I wish you could have met Chico. You would have loved Chico. Chico reminded me a lot of him, but Chico was smart, right? He looked like, what's the Doc Brown from Back to the Future?
The doctor?
Yeah, is that his name? It's Doc Brown, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay, he looked like Doc Brown and Einstein had a love child.
Pretty much almost the same person, just
Just
without
like
the
that
mustache.
white blonde, crinkly hair and everything. And man, he was just real chill. Freakishly intelligent. But always laid back. And like he'd be in there
Yes,
working on the tow
Doc
motors
Brown.
and stuff. And like he'd be like, Chico, and he'd be like, man, what's up? He'd be like, what's going on with this tow motor today, Chico? And he'd be like, oh, this relay is out, and so it's not communicating. And he'd explain it all to you. And then you'd be like, what? And then you'd have a 5-minute conversation. You could swear you was talking to Cheech or Chong, like when they were plumb blown out of their minds. And it's like just always happy. He coming there on a holiday fixed tow motor, just smiling.
I don't know if you've seen the video, but it's like, it'll be like that one friend who has the worst life, but is just always chilling. It'll be like, yeah, man, my granddad just got hit by a car, my house is on fire, and all my dogs died. But it's cool, man. Let's go get some food.
Yeah, it's all right. I still got food, bro.
that's all that matters in life.
And it's weird though, because like everybody has a friend like that or two, but then everybody has a friend that's the opposite, like freaking gravy train life, and they're just always angry about something. Like I've had several that were, it's like, man, you're a trust fund baby. You ain't never had to worry about nothing. Why are you upset? It happens.
I get asked if I'm a stoner too much.
And you're not. That's the funny part. I get told I should be a lot.
Are you sure you're not a stoner? I just wanted-
Sadly.
Sadly.
My wife is like, you're better when you're a stoner.
I like that what you do is legal. I also like you better when you're happy.
I mean, you lower the level of pain, like you get a lot happier.
That's fair.
Anybody out there listening, like anybody that's in chronic pain can understand that, like when you are in a constant level of pain, it makes it hard to think. And like as far as like, and what it is to me, it makes it so hard to think. So like normal things like social cues and like not being angry and giving people courtesy and kindness and all that, you can't think enough to do that. Like it is very hard when someone comes up and asks you a question. It's like, I don't have the mental capacity to deal with trivial bullcrap.
Like the way you woke up the other night.
Yeah. When you wake up and you're getting stabbed in the eyeballs.
Do not. If you're welding,
We weren't welding.
if you're near a welder, put glasses on.
Don't look at the welder.
Turn around.
Yes.
I don't know why y'all were looking at the
We
welder.
weren't.
We weren't. We would be standing there talking, and he's welding right here. And like I didn't think nothing about it, but we was there all day with the welder constantly sparking, like in our peripheral. So I guess it just over the day.
And I knew something. I've had my eyes sunburnt working there, but never that bad.
No, I haven't had it like that in years. Like
It's called welder's burn.
there's another name for it too that I'd never heard. That I was like, what the heck is that?
I asked Siri what it was, and it was like,
It's where you've sunburned your eyeballs like a
Yeah.
retard.
and Siri was like, yeah, it can usually be very painful. And I was like, thanks, Siri.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you have eye cancer.
Thanks for that information while I'm over here.
Welder
freaking
slash
dying.
arc eye. There was a term.
Arc eye. That just sounds weird. Which I mean, I guess it's arc flash,
Sounds
but
like a superpower.
yeah, yeah. And here's the deal, Dylan. Like, you see where I parked the truck, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My dumb butt is like, I know that Bro Down the Road gave me some like really good like tears for cleaning your eyes and like artificial tears. And I'm like, I think they're in the truck. I can't open my eyes.
Probably find them right now.
And I'm talking about like I could put my hand like this and try to hold my eye open. And it didn't work. Like it would close immediately and I could not see. So I feel my way down the side of the house. I get all the way to the truck. Like I'm walking like this until I found the bushes.
This guy's terrible at like walking with his eyes closed. I was like walking normally through the house. This guy ran into me like 4 times.
Yes, but you move constantly. But yeah, I get all the way to the truck. And I'm like, wait a minute. How am I even supposed to know if I'm grabbing the right stuff? I can't see.
I mean, hey, sometimes you gotta take a wild guess.
And so I did. I opened the glove boxes and felt around. I was like, I don't know what this stupid box of artificial tears is going to feel like.
Pulls Narcan out.
So I just, at least I wouldn't be ODing. But yeah, then I stumble all the way back in the house and I'm like, I feel stupid.
Your high would be gone.
It would.
That's just rude.
That's what Narcan does, bud.
No.
I think about it. Imagine, were you still high at that time?
No.
Why not?
Because.
Why don't you just take some gummies and then wait for the pain to go away and then go back to sleep?
He could not coherently think enough to think that.
No.
That would have worked.
Why didn't I just not get freaking welders burn? I mean, they're
over there.
Or
those eye drops are
constantly.
over there.
Okay, well, we need to get those suckers out.
They're
like,
over there. They're
you know,
by that deep freezer
You
somewhere.
could have just constantly just hit your foot against
No,
something and then
like, okay.
been all right.
Oh, Malachi's busted both his backside of his ankles.
Bro. Right there. Right. So Monday, we're building horse gates for horse demons.
Yeah,
These things will
things
weigh 150
Horse
pounds.
demons,
Yeah, the outside is 1/4 inch.
The gates, not the horse.
Is-
No.
1/4 inch by 2 inch by 2 inch or steel, box steel. And then the stupid pickets are 5/8 inches.
Yeah.
And they're every 2 inches. And they're solid. They're not like, tube. They're solid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what type of horses these
I
are.
don't know
but
why they need to hold horses in.
they're like
but,
Nephilim horses,
These
'cause they're-
horses, if they break this, no, but we're moving them. And then Monday, I backed right into a pile of like steel, and just nailed my thing right
Heck yeah.
ankle. And then today I was doing the same thing, and I backed right into a fork, like a tractor fork.
And you had the weight to you too, because he was dragging one of them, was dragging it out. So like he had the weight driving him. And he hit that thing, and just squatted down and sat there for a minute after we got done.
No, I kept moving it. I was like,
I'm saying when we got done, you were like,
yeah.
I mean, it's understandable.
I kept moving it though, because I knew it would have fallen. I didn't want to leave it all on poor Ray.
oh, poor Ray.
He tries so hard too. That's what I love. When he messes something up, he feels so bad.
Yeah, he beats himself up. It's like, I think that's why he messes up sometimes, though, is he's trying so hard not to. He's got too many steps going on in his head. But yeah,
It's like he cut him too long, and he was just like, you could just see it on his face. He was like, at least he cut him too long, though,
instead of too short. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, the other day he had cut, I think it was one of the bent. He was cutting the 2 round rods together, right? And like one of them was kinked, so that throws your whole saw off. And he had cut like 15 or 20 of them. And he's throwing them up there, and they're all like just barely too long to go in there. And like he's over there with a tape measure, and every time he measures one, he's like, dang it. Next one. Shit. Next one. It's like, he gets so mad at himself, and it's like, it's all right, right? I mean, it is to me.
He's a good worker, though.
Yeah. And he's not unhappy.
No.
Even when things are going wrong and it's rougher on him and you can tell he's feeling bad, he's not the type to just make everybody else miserable.
I hate people like that.
Yeah. I'll leave. I'm sorry. That's why Dylan never talks.
He's afraid to make you mad.
No.
Dylan's not afraid to make anyone.
He's always mad. That's his secret.
My,
Quiet
my
fury.
secret, Cap. I'm always angry. Yeah.
Well, you have to like dramatically turn around and just nail like the massive thing, And like, that's what I hate about the MCU is what they did to the Hulk. Because like the first movie, there's this thing the size of our shop and house flying at him, and he turns around and he just punches it and stops it. You know, thin air, like, you know, just instantly stops and destroys the thing. Hulk now is just like when Thanos kicks his butt. It's like
that wouldn't have happened. Like, you kick his butt,
Even- yeah,
you're
and
just
he
going to
would-
piss him off.
he would have
And
just gotten back up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the whole point.
the
of the
angrier
Hulk.
you make him, the stronger he gets.
That's the point of the Hulk.
Yeah.
That's like in Marvel.
He took over an
Rivals.
entire planet, like a gladiator planet.
In Marvel Rivals, the more Wolverine fights, the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets in the game. And like they couldn't do that with Hulk because it would have just been an overpowered concept. If you would have gave two characters the power to just get stronger constantly, but
Well, his ultimate, I think he gets bigger and a little
Yeah.
more health.
but also because Wolverine's so short, one of their power ups is he can ride on Hulk's shoulder,
then
and Hulk can throw him. Hulk can throw him like a cannon.
Spear.
Yeah, he'll like
There's one arc where Wolverine, they remove the adamantium from him in one comic book series, I think, and it winds up being that the adamantium was actually poisoning him
Mhm.
and like slowing him down, and so like he gets like exponentially stronger.
and faster, I think.
Yeah,
right?
but the only difference is like with the adamantium, like he was like a 400 or 500 pound dude, like in the canon. So like as fast as he could move and leap off of stuff, anyways, like that's 500 pounds flying at your butt. Like so, like you take 300 pounds off of him, and yeah, he's faster and he's stronger, but he just doesn't quite have the momentum. A 500-pound dude jumping on you would be a lot of weight.
I mean, I heard Wolverine without all that metal is like just dangerous.
Well, yeah, think how fast he would
Well,
be.
it kind of ruins his like healing,
Hmm. He's healing some. That's his power.
but it's his bone structure.
No, the adamantium is grafted over his bone structure. That's the only reason he survived the process is because of his healing powers.
It's like a Deadpool, how constantly it's killing the cancer and then.
Yeah, why'd they make him look so ugly?
Well,
But like Wolverine
cannibal cancer. I think I don't know.
had the claws and everything in a lot of the stuff before.
Yeah, but did not the claws just rip his skin open every time though, right?
Yeah, but they're bone.
Yeah.
In
before
some
the,
of them, yeah.
Before
Yeah.
the metal.
Even when they were metal, they were bone. Like in a lot of the stuff, he had the claws before. I mean, that's really the only way to explain the entire muscle structure and everything to have claws in your freaking arm. If they weren't there as bone structures before, you wouldn't have them after somebody put metal in you.
I mean, it's weird to think because like if you have two claws come out here, like I have a pretty big hand.
Yeah, you're wondering where they're coming from?
Like they would have to come out, split open, or they'd split right down my knuckle.
That's where they come out on him,
They come out here.
In the movie they show like
right here.
comes out from like this bone right here and like spreads the other bones and then.
Or like
comes out.
imagine you don't do this.
Yeah, you got your hand bent for some reason.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
And just comes straight out your freaking wrist. Or you're like this, comes straight out your palm.
That'd look cool.
Like I
Like
want
a
to
hidden
see.
blade.
I want to see a realistic Star Wars movie done. Okay, doesn't have to be like any of the main characters. It needs to be a spoof, like a scary movie. But they need to do a realistic Star Wars where they're following people through a training academy, and 80% of the people training need to be missing limbs. Because you mess up with a sword, or you have your hand wrong with Wolverine's claws, you're going to have an extra hole in you. Okay, you can stitch that up. You mess up with a lightsaber, your leg's gone.
Oh, you got a 6 scar.
Well, I mean, like prosthetics were a thing for a reason. In
Yeah,
Star
but
Wars.
I want to see like the hour and 30
Why do
minute
you think those
they're
make
going through. Or do make it a freaking series. I'd watch the series. You got one guy that goes to pull it out and he clicks it before he gets it out and just cuts himself in half. You know, that would be what it would be.
You
like.
see Disney doing something realistic
Disney
and
doesn't-
not woke and gay.
That's why I'm putting it out to YouTube. I need a bunch of fans to do it for me. I don't care. The cheaper budget, the better. I will
Or
subscribe
get
and watch the
copyrighted
series.
for saying Disney.
You said Disney.
And
Oh,
I said woke
Yeah,
and
both
gay.
did. I haven't said anything, so that's y'all.
You just said like all the words. I said retard earlier.
Well, I specifically said Disney is woke and gay. So
As long as you don't start singing their songs, you should be all right. The only one I think you can do
have you seen Mulan?
is the somebody
Mulan? Yeah. For some reason, I thought I heard Moana too.
No,
I don't know where I got that from.
no. The "I'll Make a Man Out of You" song is too offensive
Which is arguably the best song in that whole movie.
because
Let's get
Oh,
down.
because
Because
it's too focused towards men. But like that was at the point in time that was Japan.
that was
you-
like
women-
the whole world.
wasn't Mulan China?
Yeah.
Was it
Yes, it was.
Okay.
No,
China?
Mongol.
It's China.
Yeah, it would be China. If it's the Mongols, it'd be China.
The
The Mongols tried to
were
go to Japan.
attacking China.
Yeah, when the Mongols tried to attack Japan, they got fucked up every
Yeah,
time.
they like got whooped.
Yeah. Said it
Not
was
in
protected
Ghost of
by a
Tsushima.
divine wind. We can't attack those
mean-
people.
Not in Ghost of
I
Tsushima.
mean, he still got whooped. Just took a minute.
Yeah, it just took. Done. If I say, you have no honor, what do you say?
I can't remember. Don't put this on me now. You have no honor. Oh my gosh.
And you are a slave to it.
Yeah, that's what.
If I say Mekaladouche, do you know who I'm talking about?
Mekaladouche?
Or Mikadouche?
Nikadouche? No.
Descent 2.
Descent 2. What is Descent 2? I'm so confused.
The
right now.
video game we played.
Deceit?
Was it Deceit or Descent?
The scary thing?
Yeah, Deceit? Are you sure it was Deceit? I thought
The-
it was
the
Descent.
scary-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, deceit.
Why you
Decide.
do quotation marks?
Because it wasn't scary.
Yeah, it wasn't scary.
But you know, if I say Mekaladouche, you remember what I'm talking about?
Was that that one dude? Nikadouche.
Mikadouche or whatever.
Nikadouche. Mikadouche.
We got in a server with like a bunch of random people, and like it's proximity chat,
I love proximity chat. It's
so
so
you can't
funny.
hear people unless you're near them.
Like real life, pretty
Yeah.
much. I love
But
proximity. chat.
Whenever these people who are speaking like Indian or something, like some different language, and they're running around saying some dude's name, and all you hear is Mekaladouche, Mekaladouche, and we're all just screaming his name for no reason.
Hey, that was the guy all of a sudden.
It's got to be really weird to move to another country, or be like first generation from another country, like your parents were immigrants, and they name you the traditional names that in your country would have been just fine. Because I'm sure it happens to Americans. They move somewhere else, or like the English-speaking countries. Like you move somewhere else, and like John's a normal name, but like all the Mekaladouches are looking at you going, "What a boring name." Or especially the countries where they're like, that's my name, and it's like, do you need 52 names? Because I can hardly keep
Well,
over
like,
3.
the Japanese don't have middle names.
Just last name or surname and first name. And then, most English-speaking countries have 3.
Or a random letter in the middle.
What?
Monkey D. Luffy.
Monkey D. Luffy.
I don't know what that's
That's
about.
a fictional character.
Yeah, but it's like the D is the what is it? It's the enemy of gods is what it stands for basically. Because they're the people who think they're gods. And then pretty much anyone who has the middle name D is always direct enemies of them and tries to kill them all.
Isn't there like 3 of them with D's in their name? Was it Marshall D or Michael?
Marshall D. Teach.
And then
Trafalgar D. Law. Monkey D. Luffy.
someone's I know.
Well, you have Monkey D. Dragon. Monkey D. Garp.
What does the D
Garp
stand
has a
for,
D.
though?
Why is there a lot of monkeys?
That's their last name.
Oh.
It's
So
it's
they're all
last
related?
name.
I haven't watched One Piece, so I have
You
no
know
idea.
he's Straw Hat Luffy, though.
Luffy's
the first name.
granddad. Garp.
You said Gar, but who's Dragon?
Luffy's dad.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. I haven't got that.
Well,
far,
like
bro.
here's the weird part. Spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen One Piece, maybe like
know
skip
Garp.
ahead.
I like Gar.
We'll put in the thing whenever I stop talking about it, just in case.
Oh yeah, so much work. Go ahead.
Dad'll do that.
It's not quite in the right spot, but go for it. Did you hit it? Sweet.
Anyway,
I couldn't really tell. Good job.
the funny part is, Luffy had never met his dad before, and like didn't even think he had one. He
Oh,
knew
you
he
had a dad. You're not a test tube baby.
Well, no, he literally looks at his granddad and goes, "I have a dad," but his dad is like the leader of the Revolutionary Army and the most wanted man on the face of the planet. And so his crew's all sitting there, and his grandpa's like, "I heard you met your dad," and he's like, "What? I have a dad?" and he's like, "Yeah, Monkey D. Dragon," and all his crew's looking at him like, "The most wanted man on the face of this planet is your father." And he's like, "Who's that?"
Sounds all right. Sounds all right.
I love how in animes a lot of times they make the main character like super powerful, really smart, really good at adapting,
But an idiot.
but just completely aloof to just everything like around them.
It's like Asta. Asta's a complete moron.
But like whenever he gets locked in, he's there.
He's actually like really, really smart and strategic, but like
Or like you have the really dumb characters, but then they show that just because you're dumb doesn't mean you can't be good at something.
If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, the whole ocean's full of idiots. I mean-
Everybody has their talents.
That's like whenever people are like, Asa will do this a lot. He'll be like, "Oh, well, what's this, that, and that?" All right. I'll be like, "Okay, where's a starter?
What is a starter?
Where's the clutch placed, man? Where's that at on the car?" "Well, it's the third pedal." "Wrong." "Yes, but no.
that's the
No,
first
that's the pedal that actuates the clutch.
That's the clutch pedal."
Yeah.
"Where's the clutch? Where's this?" It's a different level. Everybody's smart in their own way.
Well, and a lot of people mistake book smarts for functional intelligence. Like you can have all types of book smarts
It's
and have
like
all
when I
types of
used to ride
facts.
with them to choir. They'd have to listen to a book for school about kings in London.
Huh.
Why?
I mean, like if you want to learn all that, you do need to know the history of your country to a certain extent, know your laws and regulations. But like
Go against your laws and regulations.
Do drugs. What?
some of the people that I knew in, God, I was 6th, 7th grade, but they moved over here from England, and they come to our history class, and like everybody was complaining about history class, and they were like, "Bro, y'all's history is easy. It's like you got 200 something years." He's like, "You go over to England, you start 4,000 years ago, and they start going through all this." It's like, I don't care. I need to know who was here 4 generations ago, and that's it. But
Yeah.
I think that's part of the problem with societies now is not enough of them study the past. And like if you don't know the past, you're just doomed to repeat it.
It's like when those statues were being taken down.
Mhm.
I was like, that's just our past, guys.
It's
Like, come on now.
it's erasing the past in
What
order to
statues?
change it.
There's like a bunch of statues. that
All
are
the
getting-
Confederate statues.
Like
Why?
Polk dude.
Robert E. Lee,
The Polk dude was getting moved
Who
too.
took them down?
a
Forget
bunch
his
of
name.
liberals who were upset.
And the Polk is like here in Tennessee. I
James
forget-
K. Polk.
Yeah, James K. Polk. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say.
Was that the
anything
one in Murfreesboro?
Can't remember.
I'm not gonna say anything controversial.
It's not really controversial. It's just
No.
it's our history.
Yeah.
Malachi, you're completely
I was about to
controversial.
say something, but
That's like
Oh,
over in
never
the,
mind. Never mind.
No,
never
no.
mind.
A lot of the
never mind.
Middle
Shut up,
East-
Malachi.
I was about to start saying some stuff that
a lot of the Middle East countries, like they're going through there and they're destroying a bunch of Christian holy sites, and like just to erase them from that land. And that's why, like, I think our history
aren't
is
there scorch marks?
on the they're in Turkey on the top of Mount Ararat, I think. If I've got the right mountain, I may have the wrong mountain. Yeah, there's a whole bunch
But
of
they
stuff
think it's from
God sitting
yeah.
down on a mountain. They're pretty sure they know. Like a lot of people think they know where Noah's Ark is, but it's in a land that we can't get to. Göbekli Tepe, 12,000 something years old, human civilization.
I've always thought
we
I don't
can't.
I don't like the idea of like how strict you have to be an archaeologist.
You toe the party line or you get out. You say what they want you to say. You do what they want you
But
to
like
do.
just exploring stuff and like going to the pyramids and like being one of those people that gets to go down there,
That would be so cool.
that would be amazing.
Let's do it. Let's be explorers. Screw the government. Here on this side.
No,
I
I
would
mean,
start an explorer channel with you.
you know,
I would do
Hey.
it 100%.
if we could get enough people to like support us, dude, I'd travel all over the place.
Let's just
I'll
get-
drop
let's
y'all
just-
off in
let's
mountains
just-
and
Let's
holes.
just
and,
all get bikes.
Start exploring the
Yeah,
world.
just start exploring.
You
Like
wanna
My
process-
bike is apparently good for exploring places, so
okay,
I could do it.
we'll have to find some bikes. Tasia,
My
are you going to
bike
be on the back of mine,
is
or are you
not.
out on the exploring abandoned places?
You want to go to Africa?
Where
no, we're not
we,
going to
we
Africa.
can't get
We're
to
going-
Africa
we're going-
on a motorcycle.
You
Dylan.
can.
We can freaking try.
Yeah, we could try.
Good luck with that one.
You know what you
like
could
when I
do?
Every
told
time the boat's moving, someone has to be driving the motorcycle around the deck. That
I
way,
could
at
do
least
that.
we drove.
I could do that.
that's like whenever I told Hideto I was going to walk to Japan.
What do you say?
He just was like, ocean.
Ocean.
You can't walk to Japan.
Oh, he almost killed me the first time he looked y'all dead in the eyes and said, "Subject change." It was like, what? No, Hideto, you can't just say subject change and change the subject. He's like, why not? Subject change.
Well, if it works, it works. Well, that's what I said.
It doesn't work though.
He
When
did-
everybody
he did
doesn't let you
not
change.
like Japanese women. That was like his. He said all same haircut, and he's not wrong. They do all pretty much have the same haircut. He liked Korean K-pop models
Oh, he liked the main characters with the funky hair.
twice.
It's understandable.
That was his
actually.
particular
That-
band
that's,
twice.
that's understandable, actually.
Why?
They're not bad looking. I've seen some of them. My sister has had some, or I don't know, posters. I don't know.
Oh, you're the guy that was like,
Dylan,
my,
are you
my
gooning the
sister's into
posters?
NSYNC.
Are you gooning the posters right now?
They're pretty.
Who twice?
Yeah, look at them. They're
Yeah,
gorgeous.
But they all look the same.
Not
No.
really.
Look, bangs.
Hang on. Go
No
to
bangs.
go to images. I can
I'm
see
pretty
if I
sure
can
some of them
remember.
have different. I think one had pure white or blonde at one point. I can't.
I think I
remember.
could point out the one he. No, I don't even remember. He had he went to one of their concerts and he had a little a little like a gum container, but it was made for him, and he pulled it out and it was just pictures of one particular one. And when we were working out at night and he needed that extra push, he'd look at that picture. It's the most anime thing you've ever seen in your life.
That or that's really obsessive, but hey, I like that. That's
Hey,
funny.
if you
He'd
dedicated,
put
you
the
dedicated.
picture there and he
At least, at least these are real people.
That's very
Unlike
true.
Tess, who is
That's
like,
very
oh, this anime character, this animated drawing, oh, he is so fine. It's like,
I mean, they're not ugly, the anime characters, but I'm never gonna be fiending over them
I mean,
or
I
gooning.
liked a
no.
lot of anime women. Like, look at your mama. She's tall, beautiful, built like an anime woman. There's nothing wrong with liking them, but I'm not going to fall in love with a
Not
fictional
really.
character.
Not really. Mom isn't this big around with boobs the size of this table. That's anime.
She was when we met.
Hey,
Not as. Do you know how unhealthy being this big around would be?
never the size of that table.
No, a lot of your anime women are not animated to be that small. They're normal size. They just overdo their breast.
They just.
And the
That's what
physics.
I love.
And I want to know who they watch for their model for getting their physics. Because, people don't move like that when they run.
I like the ones that just don't have fan service. AOT. Zero fan service.
Yeah, because everybody's dying.
Zero fan.
No time for fan service. Limb.
Yeah.
Guy getting eaten by a toddler the size of a house.
Look, I'm sorry. but
AOT is one of them. I
Levi
don't
is
think
the greatest soldier. 'cause world's
Full Metal
greatest
Alchemist doesn't really have any. And none of the Fate Stays really have any. too much.
JJK? No, I can't
JJK.
remember.
Not really, no.
I don't think so. If there is, it's not that.
But then you
much.
got Demon Slayer fan service. One
Damn.
girl wears a kimono.
Oh,
Fairy
yeah.
Tail.
Literally just covers her
Yeah.
tits.
Yeah. Fairy Tail.
Fairy Tail's
Bad.
bad.
Hunter x Hunter.
Fairy Tail is if you ask people about Fairy Tail, they'll literally bring up fan service. It is bad. There's like every fight, the girls get like all their clothes get blown off, and it's like,
Yeah,
why?
but it's also a lot more realistic because they're blasting each other with crap. Like
And I
your clothes
didn't
aren't going to
know-
stand up to that.
And I didn't know Luffy's voice actor in English is Urza. They don't sound anything alike.
That's why they're a voice actor.
But like, have you
you thought I was
Fate
stupid,
Zero?
right?
Who's the main guy?
Karitsugu?
No. The one we're watching, Fate Stay Night, Ultimate Blade Works.
Shuan?
No. I'm not asking his name. I'm asking if you can tell me what other show he's in.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know. I ain't heard him enough.
He's Aaron.
Ah.
That whiny. That voice actor is very good.
Inosuke?
He's Inosuke too.
That's the crazy thing about voice actors, though, is like you'll look up a like movie star, and there's 50, 60 movies, and that's one like with a really good career. Like you look up a good voice actor, they'll have
in anything.
hundreds and hundreds of movies and
Mhm.
Well, I looked up
series
the
and-
guy who played Buddy in the Dick Van Dyke Show. That guy's in everything because like he looks familiar, but I don't know anything by title what he's in.
Yeah, he's the perfect side character actor. Like
He
he
is.
was a phenomenal supporting role.
And he's funny.
What was his name?
Maury Amsterdam.
Yeah. He was one of those that just, it seemed like no matter who he showed up with, what set he was on, he had good charisma with the other actors. There was another actor like it. Played in a lot of Adam Sandler movies.
Dick Van Dyke is a good actor. I mean, for his like, you got to think about when the Dick Van Dyke series came out. 61.
And that was back when a lot of your comedy and stuff like that, like your slapstick comedy, like all the falls and stuff he did, that was back when you relied on that stuff for entertainment because there wasn't all the effects and like every TV show couldn't
Yeah.
have something super and special. So like,
Sad to think that he's like 94.
Who?
How old is he now?
Dick Van Dyke.
Isn't he dead?
No,
He is not.
He's still alive.
Oh.
Do not even
And it-
say
and-
that.
and he's-
Angel will cry, man.
He's
Because he's in a night of the museum, right? Is that what I'm thinking of?
I tell you what, though, he is one badass looking old dude. That freaking
It's-
white hair
what-
and beard that he's got going on now.
What movie was he in recently that it was like, how is this guy still? He was dancing on a table.
Mary Poppins.
That was the new Mary Poppins.
newest one.
Yeah, the newest Mary Poppins. How old was he when that came out? 92. You haven't even told us how old he is now.
Hang on. He's 99.
What the?
He was born in
Yeah,
December
but hang on,
1925.
Move it over. Show Malachi, the one right there with the gray.
Yeah.
Like,
He's so handsome.
For 95 or 99, he doesn't look too rough.
He don't look like the guy from the Night Museum. Never mind, I lied.
what?
That name sounds
I think
familiar.
he might be. I think you might be
I just
right.
can't remember where.
Had one the other day that was like, why don't they have museums open at night? And then someone responded instantly. It was like, they
Yes,
literally have
he
3
was in
movies
Night at the
saying, well,
Museum.
this is a bad idea.
That's
Okay,
him.
okay, that's who I thought. Yeah, those movies right there.
Yeah.
I would love it if they all came alive. That'd be awesome.
It would be awesome unless you were in the wrong museum.
It'd be like Five Nights at Freddy's, 100%.
Except for
You
this
need
is
to
real
watch.
life,
I know, but still.
not video game.
But still.
Okay, Five Nights at Freddy's, right? The movie. Have you seen it?
Willy Wonderland.
Look up.
I watched it. It was
Is
awesome.
it not so much better?
It was awesome.
Willy's Wonderland is freaking amazing.
What happened?
Okay, before Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie come out, Nicolas Cage was in
He
one
was 92 or 93.
that was
A
called.
92-year-old man getting up on a table and dancing.
I mean,
How?
Either not really happened or he's just better than all of us.
He's
He
better
was
than-
91 when he filmed the scenes. He was 92 when it released.
Was he actually
but-
dancing? I need to know that one.
the scene.
Some-
He literally
some of 'em,
gets
yeah.
on a table and starts tap dancing.
Fair enough.
but if you think he's been tap dancing since the '60s,
I
Or
mean, look at him
before.
in the Dick Van
I mean,
Dyke
he's
Show.
probably been tap dancing most of
Yeah,
his life.
but if you think about health and fitness, tap dancing is like constantly jump roping. Like you are constantly bouncing up and down and moving your feet. So like it's got to be like hellacious cardio and exercise. And if you keep it up, some of the pictures of him as an old man, he looks really happy. And
some
then some of them he looks
really,
like
he looks really creepy.
yeah, he's like he's going to come out from behind the dumpster in the alley. You know.
He has a very big smile, a
Yes.
very big grin.
And if they
Like
take it
it's-
from the wrong angle, it's like,
That one.
whoa, yeah. Like,
look at his grin. Look at
Yeah.
because he's just
Oh,
happy.
he is.
yeah, but
But
if he
he-
come out from behind the dumpster in the alley, you'd be like, I'm fixing to get stabbed or lectured on space
Yeah.
lizards. I don't know which one.
That's a crazy comparison. That one right there.
Yeah. It's a photo of young and old Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, explain it for the viewers at home.
Yeah.
You know, you can screen
Do you
share.
do you know who? If you comment below, we're gonna make a whole short about this. If you know who Dick Van Dyke is, like,
And if you have watched none of the
absolutely love
museum,
him
you have watched
in our
it.
family.
or Mary Poppins, or if you're even more just cultured, if you've ever seen the Dick Van Dyke Show.
I've never seen Dick Van Dyke.
It's so good. It's
It-
like
for
the
its
Andy
time-
Griffith Show, but way
For
better.
its time,
Way better.
I do think they should have shown that little kid getting his tail end beat more, though.
who was
Fair
the
enough. Richie?
Mary Tyler Moore?
Yes, that's the Laura Petrie.
I bet people don't even know who that is either.
Nope.
She had her own show as well.
Hmm
The
I never
No,
saw the
no.
Mary Tyler Moore show though.
It wasn't as good.
It wasn't.
But like even
I
like
haven't watched much.
we were
of it.
watching it the other day and like you see like the way they're acting and it's pretty impressive for the time. Like cuz you didn't have as much stuff as you have now.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It was kinda like a-
required you being able to set the mood, do everything without all the special effects.
Yeah,
And it
cuz
was
like
literally like 2 sets, pretty much. It was
Yeah.
their house
And the studio.
and where he worked. Yeah.
And almost every episode, they would have another place they would go. A restaurant, someone else's house, or something like that a lot of times.
I love
Like if it was
Lucy
another
a lot
place, it
more.
was only one per episode, if I remember
Yeah.
right.
I love Lucy had a lot more scenes. I feel like
I love Lucy's hit or miss.
that was a good show.
Some episodes are phenomenal, and some episodes you're just like, punch her. Ricky, go home, take your wife, sit her down, tell her quit her crap, and chill. I had a mechanic tell me to grab my wife by the shoulders one time, look her straight in the eyes, and he said, I want you to do exactly what I do. And he goes, tell her to do this. Stop it.
Bruh.
He's like, I don't know what she's doing, but just tell her to stop it. I was like, she's not doing it. It's me. I'm the one that takes the Oldsmobile in the field all the time. Oldsmobile 88 4-door, man, I'd blast through the field, take it on construction sites, take it mudding. Thing was a tank.
I'm trying to think. The Andy Griffith show just wasn't as interesting as the rest of them.
It wasn't.
It was good.
It wasn't good, though.
It was good.
What?
It
The
had
Andy
its
Griffith
moments.
show.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
It was so daggum boring.
It
Again,
had
with
its
Opie, it's
moments.
like, Andy, punch Opie, tell him quit his crap. Go over to Barney, tell him he's either going to man up or you're going to hire a new deputy. Go down to Goober and tell him he's freaking awesome.
No. Barney is way better than Goober.
I don't know.
Barney is better in The Ghost of Mr. Chicken than he is in any
I love
episode.
the Ghost of Mr.
of-
Chicken.
like, he was a good actor, and they were all good actors. It's just like when I was a kid, people would have it on, and like all the old people would be like, this is the most amazing show. And I'd be like, I would rather watch Bugs Bunny with Pawpaw. Or cowboy shows. At least people get shot in cowboy shows. People run around dying everywhere. This is awesome.
The
Standing around-
Rifleman.
I watched Miss Leah put on a movie
Like
the other day
Rifleman.
that is so controversial, but it's called Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Have you seen that?
No, but I know of it. Yeah.
I don't know this one.
It's basically like these 7 brothers go kidnap
They go
women
kidnap women to be their wives.
to be their wives, and like they kidnap them right before like
The
the
winter season.
weather changes, and
So
so,
they
they're-
gotta stay.
They have to stay. They're stuck
then
with
they
them
fall in
basically,
love,
but
actually.
then they fall in love. Yeah.
But then by the time the weather's down, the whole town comes to try to kill them all.
So did Disney make this?
I don't think so.
Because it's
I don't know.
classic.
It's
It's
a
classic
musical.
Stockholm.
Look it up.
Oh, it's a musical. Oh,
Yeah.
Never mind.
There are some good musicals.
It's just so like
if you
if
watch
that
them in
came out-
person,
if
not
that-
on TV,
if
go to a
that-
play.
if that came out today,
Oh yeah, Blazing Saddles.
that movie's so funny.
Dadgum Blazing
What is
Saddles.
his name? Tim? What's his name?
Who's
The main guy. What's his name?
crap? The sheriff.
Yeah. No, the guy in jail.
Oh, dadgummit.
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder's the actor's name.
What's
Well,
his name
yeah.
in the movie?
What's his name? What character does he play?
Roy. Ray.
Something like that. Have you ever
Rick.
seen Blazing Saddles?
Nope.
Dude, we got you. That movie cracks me up. At Candygram from Mongo.
Ever seen Tropic Thunder?
Yeah,
What's his name? in the movie?
classic. Classic. What do you mean?
Jim,
people?
the Waco kid.
The Waco Kid.
My name's Jim, but most people call me
Jim.
Jim. He says that in the movie. It's like, thanks.
Great movie. He's like, yeah, see this? And he's like, yeah, steady as a rock. He's like, but I shoot with this hand. Camtown
Well, that's
lady
like-
sing a song, doo-da,
We
doo-da.
Nan was talking about that. I was talking about that movie with Nan. And Carrie was like, are you talking about that racist movie Dad and Mom made us watch? And Nan just was like,
What?
that's a completely different time.
Yeah.
You just got to think
But
about
that
when
movie-
that came out.
That movie made fun of everybody.
It didn't matter what color you were.
Yeah, like all the white folks in the church, like all the church scenes was making fun of white people. Like all the people mistreating everybody for no reason. The one woman, she like bakes him a pie to tell him thank you for getting
I
rid
was
of the
going to
guy.
miss, so I
I
told you
got
not
it.
to switch.
And she's like, I would appreciate it if you didn't tell anybody I brought this to you and spoke
Couldn't
to
see
you.
over him. Yeah.
So,
At least I hit the rim.
but yeah, we'll hook you up. I'm pretty sure
It's
I still
on
have a copy.
Netflix.
Is it still on Netflix?
Probably.
They haven't censored
That
any of
one?
it out? Yeah.
on
Blazing
YouTube.
Saddles.
Wait, what's it called?
Blazing Saddles.
What's it called? Sorry. That's what I was gonna say. Something.
Now, I do have a question for like, if this, I don't know if it'll wind up as a short or not. I let AI do them all. But like, for anybody watching that is older, like 30s and mid 40s now, do you find yourself rewatching movies that you loved as a child, as an adult, going, man, I should not have been watching this as a 5, 6, 7-year-old?
Me, definitely.
Well, I'm talking about like the people listening, because like
Yeah.
we run
It's
up on that
not
all the time.
Netflix.
It's not anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets like disappeared from history.
Well, that's like Disney saying they're discontinuing or they're swapping out the song. VHSs still exist. The movie's on disc somewhere.
It's
You
on
can't.
it's on 500,000 people's hard drives.
You can't.
Give it 50 years though, it'll completely disappear. How hard is it to find a VCR now?
Like a VCR player?
Yeah, to put a VHS in.
Amazon?
Yeah, but that's right now. That's the only place you can get them. When I
Well,
was
you
your
could
age,
go to like a thrift store probably.
buy 'em
and
in a
I bet
store.
Walmart still has them, but it's like
It's on Prime.
Prime. That's where it's at. Thanks, Bezos.
For free, or do I gotta pay for it?
I mean, if you're subscribed to Prime, it's on Prime.
I don't want to pay for it.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
yes, he has
My
Amazon
mom
Prime.
does.
Then you're good.
My mama doesn't have
yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Back to I know.
My mama don't even got Facebook.
I know.
That's according to Google.
Yeah, she died when AOL was still a thing.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly.
America Online.
The balloon, you got mail.
But
Like-
back to Willy's Wonderland. That was a great movie.
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
It was awesome.
If you
I think
watched
should
you
watch
watched
it.
Five Nights at Freddy's and you were like, this sucked.
I didn't watch that.
Okay, but anyways, good. You didn't watch it. It sucked. Watch Willy's Wonderland and be like, okay, this is what Five Nights at Freddy's should have
I
been.
didn't watch either of them. Probably never gonna watch
And what
them.
there might be 60 words said during the whole movie.
He never speaks.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about all the characters, even the beginning when he's talking to the guy making the deal to watch the place.
Because when I was watching it, I was like, okay, they're trying to do something. So is he like a video game character? Apparently, that's exactly what he was supposed to be. Because none of like 80% of video game characters do not talk.
Uh huh.
It's exactly what he's supposed
but
to
like
be.
there was
That's
not
what I like
hardly
about
any
the
other
new
dialogue
Siege update.
But there wasn't any other people, were there?
Have you
yeah,
heard
there
that?
was like
for the beginning and the end.
there was 1,
Okay.
2, 3.
And then weren't there some teenagers or something that snuck
And,
in?
and if you count the first two, there's the two dudes talking, and then there's 2, 3, 4, 5 teenagers, 4 or 5 teenagers.
Yeah, because there's a
talking.
group of them or something that sneaks in.
And then all the animatronics talk.
That's like what I
But
was
like,
saying.
if you were in that situation, would you be saying words?
Oh, I'd be saying all
Well-
types of words. You know me. I'm in a life or death situation.
I
You're
don't-
going to hear some French.
I don't
I
think
would
I
not
could
be.
beat the crap out of animatronics like that. Pure metal? I don't think I could do that.
That's Nicolas Cage, man. Come on.
Still don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Bro
he
was
can do
beating
it.
the crap out
Have
of him
you
with
not
his
seen-
bare hands.
Have you not seen Con Air?
No, I haven't actually.
I've always loved him as an actor. Like I love his movies. They're fun. Like they're not even his serious movies. Like as soon as he shows up, he's like, I don't care that they're in a nuclear war right now.
What are we talking about?
Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
Who even is? I have to
Ghost
see if
Ghost
it's-
Rider.
Oh yeah. Nicholas Cage.
I think that's the only movie I can name right now.
And I'm waiting on him to come out with Constantine 2.
Who's
I don't know. Is that gonna be
who's the
actually
Mission
happening?
Impossible guy? Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
It will happen eventually. Even if it's just in a dream of mine.
Oh,
That's
that
him.
guy.
Yeah, it's Nick
the
Cage.
Mask.
What?
No, that's
that's-
no.
What's that
That's
movie?
Jim Carrey.
What's that movie?
Which one?
The one where he's doing the stupid face.
Oh,
Which one?
Go down. Liar, liar.
Yeah, no, the one below.
No, that was Jim Carrey
yeah.
too.
What's that one? Is that Liar? No.
No, liar, liar was Jim Carrey. I can't see.
They look the same.
Because I've been wanting to watch that movie. I've seen that picture and that video everywhere.
But even like watch interviews from him, like all throughout his career, even when he was younger. Like he's just a good entertainer. Like
Wait,
I like Nicolas Cage.
who's the guy that is the mask?
Jim Carrey.
Phenomenal
They look
actor.
the same.
No,
They kind of have
The
same
Truman
smile.
the Truman Show was awesome. I like
Because
but
like
I haven't
no,
seen that in years.
that was all. I watched it not that long ago, but it was cool.
I don't know what that is.
Was
Liar,
that the
Liar
one?
was cool.
The Truman Show was the one where he was like, that was
His life.
the world built around him, but he
Yeah.
didn't know it at first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the sky's a big dome with screens.
Well, I
Hang on,
mean,
what
like
does he
I
say?
feel like all new actors are getting kind of bad reps, or old actors.
Good afternoon, good
Like, 'cause
evening, and good night.
I think
In
that
case I don't see
Will
it.
Smith is a good actor,
Is blue.
but Will Smith got such a bad rep because of the Chris Rock stuff.
Yeah, and his wife too.
Yeah, and
Like,
it's
I
just
mean-
like you.
You mean the man? Sorry.
What gets me though is like you get somebody really famous like that, and like I can understand if you are a sports star, if you're on a like college football team or whatever, or you are like a lot of sports kids are heavily involved, right? But like if you don't do kids movies, and like they catch some of these people doing stuff, and they're like, oh, they're so terrible, and it's like they're rich, they hang around Hollywood. And they're not geared towards children. Like, why would they?
Do you think that him slapping Chris Rock, how do you feel about that whole thing?
I don't. I think it shouldn't have been that big of a deal.
Like you think he should have just walked it off?
And I think it should. It should.
My wife's name at your mouth.
It should have been.
No.
How do you know when you've gone too far? At what point have we gotten into a society where you can't slap people anymore? Like
I think it was.
Chris had the option to slap him right back.
I would have slapped the
Wait,
crap
that's
So
what
out
I'm
you
of
saying.
think it's okay he slapped him?
What I am saying is, it got blown up to a proportion that was retarded. That's
you
what I'm
skipped
saying.
it.
Like it was this big, huge controversy, and it's like he was going through some crazy crap. Probably shouldn't even have been at an event. You know, like all the stuff that was going on in his life at that moment, and then the guy stands up there, and of course, that's Chris Rock's career, is to trash people, and a little too soon. And Will got up and let him know a little too soon.
I would have laid him out.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it was one of those things
Well, a
where like
lot
the
of
whole
people
situation,
defend Chris Rock, but it's like at the same time, he could have defended himself.
well, no, I'm saying that whole situation is you stepped a little too far. Not for the world. The world didn't care what type of jokes you made, but for the guy you was making a joke about. Wrong headspace, wrong time, you got slapped. You have the option of slap back or realize, hey, maybe I went a little too far. Like if we're all sitting around trashing each other, right, and I'm making dead mama and dead grandma and dead sister jokes, right, that's me. I do that all the time. But if your mama had just died,
I would have slapped you.
you love your mama. I'm going to give it some time. I'm going to know you first.
This is
I was just gonna
true, but
slap you.
Chris Rock was also being paid to be there as the host of a show. Like
I don't know.
it
I
was
see so
on
much
Will
different.
and Jada to, if it's too soon, if you're not comfortable with being made fun of, don't go.
That's also a lot of their career.
Don't go.
The
But-
No,
publicity.
I kind of feel like you say time and place. If you are a comedian, you need to know that.
Yeah.
You need to know time and place. Point blank, doesn't matter if it was right, wrong, doesn't matter. If you do not know time and place, you should not be a comedian.
And they, see, he may have thought that Will would be okay, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like there was a lot of stuff going on.
And there was a lot of.
I'm not going to blame one or the other. I'm going
Yeah.
to say they both are at fault, but it got blown up. It's something that could have been between two dudes. You know,
but they made it too
Yeah.
public. Like Will coming out and publicly apologizing over the media and all that.
his apology should have been like, got pissed, did something stupid. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
they made it. His apologies, they made them bigger than they needed to be too.
Anytime they make anybody apologize in Hollywood or fame or anything, it just never ends well.
Like they,
I don't care what you freaking did. You almost never need to actually publicly apologize for it because all they're going to do is tank you. Like, it's like you see people go through controversies, like businesses and stuff, and they'll change their name and they'll revamp and they'll do a completely new image. I get it. I understand your gang signs. But, like, if you're guilty, yes, change your name, hide who you were, rebrand, do everything. But if you really didn't do anything, piss on them.
I like this is just like a key to like how you said they should have just both said, hey, sorry, we both messed up, to each other.
Yeah.
Not over the media. It's kind of like
Even if they did it over the media, it should have been a simple, hey, we're chill with each other, you guys shut up. Or we're not chill with each other, but we also agree to disagree. Everybody shut up.
I like the memes that are girls after one day of not talking. Oh, we can't be friends anymore. Me and bro after 6 months of not saying a single word to each other. You good? Yep.
3 months.
Don't talk for another 3 months.
I got people I don't see for decades. I run into them, and just like we never were apart, chill, cut up, laugh, and then see you next century.
It's like when Dylan started working night shift. Like we didn't see each other for like a good year. And it was like, yo, what's up? You good? We played games every now and then. No, you didn't even have internet by then, did you?
I think I had it on, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, no. So it was just kind of like, yo, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Still alive? Yep. Okay.
All right.
Good to know.
Talk to you a couple months from now.
I've had people call me like, you still living? Yeah. Wow. All right, man. I was just checking. It's like, what? I hadn't talked to you like 15 years. I'll see you later.
Sometimes you wonder.
There'll be people at my funeral
Like
just to
when
make
that
sure
guy
I'm
texted
actually
me
dead.
while I was on third shift, I was like, dang, that guy's still alive.
We had a buddy from school disappear for like 2.5, 3 weeks. Just gone. Nobody knew where he was at. And everybody was like, oh, he's, something crazy happened. I'm like, he's probably just dying in the hospital. It's not that big of a deal.
Chill, guys. Come on.
And then sure enough, like, he was really sick and in the hospital. And I was like, you're still living? All right, we got gang sign, guys.
All right. Like, subscribe, share. I'm going to
Mike-
add a new one. Hate.
Hate.
Yeah. Make bad
If
comments.
you
make
see
good
if
comments.
you see a YouTube short and you're like, man, I really need to take some time out of my day to post something stupid, to comment something dumb, do it.
You're like saying,
I love reading it. It's
I didn't go to
funny.
school.
And actually, yeah, you have given me many, many times of looking over and going,
I want you to know that when you do that, you put a smile on our face.
It really did. When I read that comment, I was like, ha, ha, ha.
I mean, that's why
Yeah,
I
you
named
right.
it. And that's why we all agreed to Cunning Buffoons. It's like, because we're just 3 idiots sitting around in a garage and our wife wrangling us.
I didn't agree to that. I was
Not
just
our
told
wife.
that was the name. And I was like,
We're
all right.
communists now.
So
Hello,
I'm
comrade.
collective mom more
So,
than I'm collective wife.
comment something good, bad, doesn't really matter. We do this for fun.
Pure hate.
It doesn't matter.
You can tell me to go kill myself. I'll be all right. Can you say that on the other stuff now? I can't remember.
I don't think you're supposed to.
Oh, my bad.
I think Malachi has said worse in
Probably.
this episode.
Probably.
Enjoy your week, guys.
All right.
I hope you enjoyed.